Hello everyone. Today I'm bringing you a fun 5-part series of singing Sarali Varisais in different ragas. If you're not familiar with it, then I'm sure this video will be very useful to you. Many of you may be comfortable and familiar with doing Sarali Varisais in Maya Malagola, right? But have you ever considered singing Sarali Varisais in other ragas like Shankarabharanam, Pantovrali, and many other Sampurna ragas, especially with gamakams? I know if you're a beginner, it's not very intuitive to sing Sarali Varisais in other ragas, so I thought this 5-part series might be useful to you. In our classes, we often explore different ragas through these basic foundational Sarali Varisais and Janta Varisais and many other exercises that we typically do in the beginning of a Carnatic music journey, right? But we constantly come back and revisit these basic exercises with different ragas. Not only it adds a different color and interesting twist to your learning experience, but it also gives you a very deep understanding of a raga at a very fundamental level. Of course, the raga exploration is endless, and the best way to learn is also by listening to multiple alapanas and compositions by great stalwarts. Of course, that's not going to go away, but a very practical way to introduce a fundamental elementary level to kids or beginners at any stage is, in my opinion, Varisais are the best way, especially exploring simple exercises with other Sampurna ragas. Sampurna raga meaning the ragas which have all the 7 notes of different variants like Shankarabharanam, Kalyani, Pantovrali, and many other ragas. This 5-part series is mainly dedicated to my students who can refer back, but I thought I'll just put it out publicly, then anybody can enjoy this and learn. So go ahead, and if you want to learn with me, I'm going to be singing all the 10 Sarali Varisais and use these series as your own learning tool, and you can sit with me and practice. I've picked 5 very popular ragas which many of you may be familiar with, including Maya Malagola, which I will save it for the end. I will show how to sing Sarali Varisais with gamakams in Maya Malagola. I know many of us first attempt to sing with straight notes, which is also recommended. It's very, very important that you also have a knowledge of the pure note. So in that sense, singing Varisais in Maya Malagola with straight notes is absolutely fine and is recommended. But over the course of your journey in Carnatic music, I think you should also know how to employ gamakams. And simple exercises are very, very safe place to experiment with it. So I will do that in the end, because many of you are already familiar with Maya Malagola. And the 4 additional ragas other than Maya Malagola will be Shankarabharanam, Kalyani, Pantovrali, and Keeravani. If you have any other requests outside of this, please comment below and I'd be more than happy to extend the series. So this is part 1 of the series, and the raga that I've chosen today is Shankarabharanam. I will be singing continuously Sarali Varisai 1 through 10 in 2 speeds, alternating between first and second. If you want to follow along with me, go ahead. So the Arohanam and Avarohanam for Shankarabharanam goes like this. Sare ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. And I will try as much as possible to sing with gamakams. The whole idea of practicing Varisais with different ragams is to practice gamakams, and there is no point in doing it in straight notes. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga re sa, sa re sa re ga ma, sa re ga sa sari 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 ga ma pa da ni sa sari 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 da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa da sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa da sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa da ni ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa da ni ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa ma ga re sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa ma ga re sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa ma da pa sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga ma sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa ma da pa sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga ma sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sari ga ma pa ga ma pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa ni da pa da pa ma pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa 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 ni da ni da pa da da pa ma pa pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa sa re ga re ga ga ma pa ma pa da pa da ma pa da pa da ni da pa ma pa da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa pa da da pa ma ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa ga ma pa pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa sa ni da pa da pa ma pa pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa 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 ni da pa da pa ma pa pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa sa re ga ga ma pa da pa da ma pa da ni da pa ma pa da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa da pa ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Hope this exercise is useful to you. If you're new to this, please listen to it a few times before trying along with me, and then after maybe 4 or 5 times of listening, you can actually play this again and sing along with me. There are just a few things that I want you to keep in mind when you're trying to sing Sarali Varisais in Shankarabharanam. So one thing is how the ma oscillates. There are many ways you can oscillate ma. If you listen to Shankarabharanam Alapana, there are so many ways ma can glide. But when you're doing Sarali Varisais, I've tried to keep it as simple as possible so that you can actually practice the most common movement of ma, which is ma. So note that there is no ma I'm singing here, right? So ga pa ga pa ga pa ga, that is ma. So sa re ga ma pa, especially when you're going up, when you're ascending from sa to higher sa. So ma pa da ni. So when you're going up, I'm employing this movement. But coming down, you can keep it plain. Sa ni da pa ma, or sa ni da pa ma ga re sa pa ma ga. You can try that if possible. Ma ga pa ma ga, but it's a little tricky. Make sure that you're not hitting the prati madhyamam, which is ma 2. So I'm not going to sing that now to ruin the mood of Shankarabharanam, but that is the only tricky part. If you can do ma ga pa ma ga, you're more than welcome to try that in the Sarali Varisai, but don't worry about it. You can just sing ma ga re sa. So ma ga re sa, that's also allowed. Or pa ma ga re sa, pa ma ga. So ma ga, I'm doing that. Pa ma ga re sa, or pa ma ga re sa, that's also allowed. But going up, sa re ga ma pa da. So that's one important point. The next gamakam that you need to keep in mind is the movement of knee 3, which is the kakali nishadam. It's not ni. I'm never singing the pure note ni. Sa ni. Practice that isolated. If you're having trouble moving that ni in that way, then isolate it and just practice that. Ni, sa ni, sa ni, sa ni, sa ni, ni. Practice that first, and then it will come in a flow when you're doing the Varisais. Okay, so sa ni da pa. What I'm singing is sa ni da pa, which is what is very important. Sa ni da pa. I will never sing that in a Shankarabharanam. Okay, that becomes a Western scale. If you remember last week we talked about Raga and scale. So if you're just singing the major scale, C major scale, then that's how it will sound. Sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. We are not doing that, right? So how can you make C major sound like Shankarabharanam? Like this. So there are some key movements. So I'm just highlighting the most important one. So try that. Sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. And then the third very very important point which should never be missed is keep the ga as plain as possible. Okay, the ga in Shankarabharanam is as still water. You don't even see a single ripple in the water. It's very very still. That's my favorite note. If you can just sing ga, there is no movement, there is no glide, nothing. So ga, sa ni da pa ma ga, sa re ga. Okay, ga will always be plain. No matter whatever phrase you sing, any composition you take, if there is a ga, it's plain. There's no gamakam, there's no glide, nothing in ga of Shankarabharanam. Okay, so these are the main things. Other than that, of course, da is moved. Sa ni da pa, it's easier to connect ni to da. Da pa, try that. So these are the main points to keep in mind, and then just listen to the Sarali Varisais a few times and then give it a try. My only intention here is to enhance your own learning experience. If you're new and if you're struggling with gamakams, I think this exercise will really help you. Please comment below if it is useful, and if you want me to sing Varisais in any other ragas, then I'd be more than happy to do it. And let me know how this is helping you in your own Carnatic music learning journey. And please do share this with anybody you know might be learning and struggling with practicing this. Especially with adults, I see a lot of inhibitions. I myself started musical journey at a very very much later adulthood. After many years of search, I finally found a guru who embraced me with open hearts and was willing to teach me from the basics. I had no idea. I grew up in the East, and in the world where there was no internet, it was so hard to find YouTube videos and resources. I couldn't find anybody who was willing to take me as an adult learner and willing to teach me from the basics. So I'm very very blessed to have found my guru who has held my hand throughout. Today I'm here sharing whatever I have learned. I'm still learning. The only reason I make these videos is to help out many others like me a few years back, where I was struggling for these basics, and sharing these only helps me enhance my own understanding. So please comment below, it will mean a lot to me. It'll just make me feel whatever I'm doing is reaching out to you and helping somebody out there in the world. I will see you in the second series next week with a different Sampurna Raga. Until then, happy learning. Thank you so much.